from August. It's got a nice bump, it's got nice eyes, it's got nice ears. The beak is nice, but the beak has to be filed. I don't know if it's a male or a female. This is the frontal, this is the valley, this is the back skull. Now, the proper way to file. You file to take the pigment color out, and you also file it so that the beak stays okay. You put your index finger on the top here, and you use a paper file, and you gently bring it up, like this. That way you're not hurting the pigeon. And you go slow. See, already the beak is straight to fit the bottom and the top together. And then you push it closed to check. And now the beak is almost a perfect beak. Now you have to do this before the show. Sometimes the baby Budapest, when they're crying all the time, they open their tail like this and it stays. It's not a genetic thing, it's an environmental thing. So what you do is bring the tail feathers together and use painter's tape. Because the painter's tape won't stick, you can get it off. If they take a few baths, it'll fall off. And just put it on like this because they can fly. And it keeps the tail together. And what happens is the muscle that's up in here that's been going like this is, temporarily paralyzed from doing it. So the bird can fly, the bird can stop, the bird can eat. And this you can take off easily without pulling the feathers out. You could do it with elastic band, but I find the elastic bands pull off. But you have to use painter's tape so it doesn't stick to the feathers. So now it's one feather wide, and when it finishes molting, it's just a. This is a young white Budapest male from 2011. Has a very beautiful head, good color, good eyes, nice beak setting. Stands nice. The bump is nice in the back of the head. The eyes are parallel. The sears are yellow as they should be. And the eyes are blue. The beak setting is very good. Of course, he's very young. He's probably 6 or 7 months old, just finished molting. Which is not easy to produce in a dark bird. And the best way to produce the very white beak is to keep the bird out of the sun. When the pigeons are molting at the end of the summer, if they get a lot of sun, their sears will get slightly red and their beaks will get touched. And if you keep them out of the sunlight, they will finish off with white sears, pale yellow, and a beautiful white beak. When they're babies, sometimes the beak is very dark and the sears could actually be very, very red. The bird has nice parallel eyes, a very nice beak setting. The male looks more like a female, and when the male has the delicate look, it makes the head appear to be so much better. This is a champion yellow hen. She's won 6 first places, and she's had several best of shows, and just recently in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, she won the Best Squarehead Award and Champion of the Show. This is probably the result of 35 years of breeding, bringing 2 strains of birds together, those in the U.S. and that from Hungary, from Dr. Széchenyi's bloodline. She has a very beautiful body. She has a nice long neck, nice long legs. Now every pigeon has a fault, and her fault would be in her color. On her tail rump, she's a little blue because she's been bred from my blue white beak bloodline, which was mixed with yellows from years ago. And I would imagine we would call this unimproved recessive red, you know, with the dilution. But the bird is near perfect in every other regard. I'm going to try and film her again. She's a little flighty, and the purpose of me filming without bars is so that you could see her natural beauty without having any obstruction. This is a black Gansel Budapest hen, about 2 years old. The reason I'm displaying this bird is because it's the first black that I was able to raise, because when I first brought them back from Hungary, I did not bring back black, I only had blues and yellows. So with some crossing and a few years later, I was able to produce a very good black hen. She stands nice. She could have a wider head, but with a two-colored pigeon, it's very difficult to breed a near perfect pigeon. And Dr. Zaglady in Hungary, I know, has been working on these more than 40 years, and he's dedicated his life to this particular color and marking.
أربع فئات وطلعنا برا دقيقة.
Nice. That's why he's a showbird. Prancing around, the eyes are right over the legs. That's the way they should be. And he's in proportion. I would like him to have longer legs, but it's not necessary. The neck is long, even though he's an old bird. His head is right over his eyes. That's the way you want them, the head right over the eyes. Over the feet, I'm sorry. Can you talk over my videos to fix that up like them yet? But you can see the nice neck, you can see the nice legs. The legs are in proportion. I don't like putting them in a cage like this because they run back and forth too much, but she's staying pretty good. The feather condition will be better when she molts, but this is very late. I was in the hospital, so I couldn't take care of them the way I wanted to, but the way she stands with the expression on the head was so very important. See, when she relaxes, she stands correctly. She should stand up, like that. This is a show pigeon. I've seen a lot better champions, but she's very young yet.